Alright guys, Ed back with the top of the line training. You can see that the scale is zeroed out. I'm going to go ahead and put my pack or survival kit on here. And you can see it weighs in at 4 pounds 15.5 ounces. So almost 5 pounds to the T. But let me get set up here. Alright guys, I'm back with you top of the line training, doing the 5 pound survival bag or survival kit challenge. As you can see, I just got one strap with this dry bag draped over my back like so. So this would be my carry of it. Of course I can sling it like so as well, and I can hand carry if needed. Stay with me, let me adjust. Hey everyone, Ed here, top of the line training. Just doing my take on the 5 pound survival kit challenge. Prepared mine 101, put it out there, then Wingman went ahead and challenged everybody, so I started checking out everyone's kits, and so I thought I'd go ahead and give my take on it. I think it's pretty interesting to see everyone's kits. I haven't seen anything identical. There have been a few that have there are a few that have the same items in it, but for the most part everyone's different, and it all depends on what kind of kit you have. This is everything that I had laying around, so I put one together. I've already showed you how much it weighed. It's 4 pounds 15.5 ounces, so it's just under 5 pounds. I showed you how it carried, so let's get inside of it and check out all the items, and I'll talk briefly about those. So first off is the 5-liter water bag container. The reason I chose this was, one, it's waterproof, which keeps everything dry if needed, as well as I can use this for a water container for approximately 4 liters, being able to close it shut. So as well, I can use it as a pillow and other things. So collecting things, whatever, food, berries, edibles, whatever. So that's that. Go ahead and take the strap off, get it out of the way. The strap itself can be used for a tourniquet, hauling other things, carrying things, whatever. So it's a multi-use item, as most of your things should be. So anyway, getting right into it, I have the Swiss Army cup and canteen. It's approximately a quart, I believe. I can boil water in here, no problem. I can haul water in here, have enough to drink, you know, while I'm trying to find my way back to civilization. So that's that. And I also can make things inside of here, teas and whatnot. It has a small spout, but you have to deal with what you got. And I took this because of the weight. Cup, again, boil, pour, whatever I want to do. Pour it into the big container. I can eat out of this. I can cook out of this. Yes, it's small, but canteen and cup container. That's what I have. Next item. I have the Shemagh. I have some items inside of here I'll talk about in a second. Shemagh, many uses, as we know, primarily filtering water, tourniquet, char cloth, a pillow. You can wrap up in it, keep you warm, wrap your neck, head. Many uses. Shemagh. Next item, I have my fire kit. Hudson Bay tobacco tin, magnifying glass, ferro rod, flint and steel, all kinds of charred cloth, charred jute twine, charred chaga, charred, there's some kind of fungus I have, I can't think of the name of it. Sort of looks like a mushroom. It's charred, works really well as a fire starter. As well as I have a couple micro infernos in here that have been charred as well. And any of those things, I can hit this thing with a spark, it's going up, and as long as I have a nice bird's nest, fire is there. Next thing here, I have the life straw. Life straw, very lightweight, hanging around your neck if you want, or hanging onto something, whatever, just to carry it. You know, if I can't boil or whatever reason and there's water there, I can filter it and then do a pre-filter, then do a second filter with this and drink it away, you know, and be able to stay hydrated. I think water, fire and water are two of the key principles here that we're talking about. If you look at example Naked and Afraid and some of these other survival shows that we watch, it always comes down to water within really the first day. If you're super thirsty and you haven't drank for 1 or 2 days, you know, the rules are 3 days without water. I think you can actually probably go past that, but you know, there's a lot of effects. So being able to have water is a key element in this whole survival game, along with fire. Next, I have the Baco Laplander saw. Don't really need to talk about it much. To me, it's the #1 folding handheld saw. I love it. Works great. I just bought a new one. Of course, I can get replacement blades for this one, but I just bought a new one to have a second one. And this thing has never failed me. I'm just going to take these small bags out of here. More companion. A lot of guys are using this. I don't need to really talk about it more. Really good knife. This thing can do fine tasks. It can do some medium tasks. You just have to be careful it doesn't have a full tang blade, we all know. More companion. I don't really need to say much more about that. Reusable space blanket by Grabber. Really, you can make a lean-to out of it. You can make a tent out of it, overhead shelter, many uses. Plus it doubles with the Mylar inside to make that microclimate for you. I think it's a real key item. You know, I don't know exactly how much. I've been out in these with the rain, but I don't know how much exactly like a raging downpour would hold off, but it definitely is a good item to have. It also, you can drag things on it. You can wrap up in it. Like I said, many uses, but that's my cover. Last big item in there. Last big item is the EscapeBit. So I have my cover with the Mylar, and then I wrap up or get in bed, if you will, in this. This thing works really well. I am going to go out this winter and test this thing out in the snow. See how it goes. But it's a breathable bivy. It's definitely get in there with your clothes on, and I think you'll stay very warm. The key thing there, it breathes, so you're not developing a lot of condensation. And you know, you get into a condensation situation where you wake up and you're almost drenched sometimes. You know, that could be trouble if you can't get a fire going and get things dried out. I am assuming that this kit affords, or this challenge affords, that we'll be dressed for the proper time of the year. This definitely would not be like a winter kit. Although if this is what I had, this is what I had, and that's what I would use. But I'm just saying that I want to assume that if it was cold temperatures, say we're out in the woods and we're lost, that we have the proper outer garments like a coat, hat, gloves, fair size shoes or boots, something like that. So, and same thing if it was a summer, we would probably have at least a long sleeve shirt, at minimum long pants. But I don't know. I'm just going to assume that. Next here I have a little first aid pouch. Basically, I got some moleskin, a couple 2x2s, 3 or 4 band-aids. Trying to see what's in it. A little bit of non-stick gauze. I have heartburn, allergy, decongestant, and 4 Motrin in here. It's just a small kit, better than nothing. If you get cut, you can, put a band-aid on it. Should be good. I also have like Neosporin ointment. It's not Neosporin, it's an off-brand, but it comes in a little pack. I have a candle. I think these are key item. You can light this thing, start a fire off of it. You can use it for light at night if needed. You can use the wax to seal things up. You can, as well, in a small climate, say like build a little tent and seal it up. I could use this for a heat source as well. So it has many uses. I think it's a key item. It's a luxury item, but it's very good to have. Again, I have a 2-liter water bag. I have 4 Aquamira tablets in here. I think this is a really neat setup, and I think that almost everyone should have something like this in their kit. It weighs nothing. I can't remember the weight on it. But you got a 2-liter bag that you can haul different things in. You can fill it with water, and if you don't have like a life straw, something to filter the water, or you can filter it, or you will filter it, as well as you got the tabs in here to purify, and you have something to drink. Again, goes back to water. So here I have the Coglin. I mean, it's just a $5 whistle, but it has a compass in it, and I checked it on a couple of my other compasses. Pretty accurate. It's just general direction, navigation. Hey, I need to go north. I know that. I find north quickly without putting sticks up or things like that. Of course, east and west is pretty easy to identify. But anyway, the point is if I need to go north or northwest, I can do that. I have a whistle for signaling. I've been in the woods many times yelling at people while I'm hunting and whatnot. They can't even hear you. But this right here, pretty loud. Has a thermometer, not really that important I don't think, but it can gauge on your current temperature and say like, if you're in the zeros or say 10 degrees, you'd better do something, or you can see how hot it is, but it's really sort of irrelevant in a way. Then it has a magnifying lens in here if you can get the damn thing out. But you can use it to start fires with. I haven't tried that yet, so don't quote me on that. I am going to see if I can. I'll try that later on. But also, if I needed to read something, say on the medical pouch or whatever, I can use this to read with if I didn't have my glasses with me. Let me get into this pouch. Now, I did have like a VanQuest Slim, and I had all this stuff jammed down in it. But because of weight, I had to get rid of that. And so I went to these plastic bags. Plastic bags can be used to haul, maybe nuts, berries, edibles, things like that, maybe tenders even. Just grabbing things as they come out. Off cutter, primarily used at night around the fire, trying to sleep, getting bombarded by mosquitoes and whatnot. Of course, you have a fire going with smoke and stuff, trying to repel the bugs that way. But this just helps if they come in and get on your skin or get around you. Help you sleep better, basically. Here I have a diamond rod by Smith's, self-explanatory, just for sharpening the knife, and it is beveled so I can get into the Baco Laplander teeth and sharpen those as well. I have a card, just about 5 feet of duct tape and electrician's tape. You know, many uses for tape. It's not much, but like say if I had a hole in the cover tarp there, I can tape it up, you know, things like that. Here I have let me zoom in on this. I have a curved needle, which is used for repair. Basically, I can sew up anything. If I got a hole in my bivvy, in my bag, of course that's where the wax will come in too. You could sew a hole up and seal it with the wax. You know, you could try that. I don't know if that would work, but something. You could also gather pine sap and try to make something with that, but that's another story. But anyway, here is my curved needle for repair, basically. And say if I had a splinter or something in me, I could dig it out and stuff. So, you know, it has multiple uses, and it's unique in itself. And it's one of the 10 C's, of course. And let me stop right now and say this. Basically, what I did is I based my kit off of the 10 C's as well as the rules of 3. So those are the boundaries. You have 5 pounds, you have the 10 C's, and the rules of 3. And this is what I come up with. Here I have another Mylar blanket. These can be a life-saving device, especially in cold weather. As long as you can get a fire going, and you can spread this out behind you, get that climate of heat going, can be a lifesaver. As well, you can wrap up in it, and you know, just different uses. And also used for signaling. So it's a good item to have. It weighs hardly anything, takes up any room until you try to refold it, of course, but takes up no room, and you know, it's a really good item to have, and they're cheap too. And if you take care of them, they'll last. And you know, you're not going to survive a major storm and all this kind of stuff, but it's good to have. Okay, again, plastic bag. Tissue, 10 of them, mainly for my nose. Also fire starting if needed. But 10 tissue, weighs nothing, put it in there. Mini Bic, says enough there. Again, going back to fire starting. Got my Bic and got all that other stuff for making fire with the candle as well. And, you know, again, to me, water or fire is a key step in this whole process. One of the 5 C's, of course. Water is another need. Here I have 160 lume. I believe this is through night. Don't quote me on this. This is the Christmas model. Very light. 160 lume, guys. Can't beat it. You should get one for about 30 bucks. Really nice. So that's my lighting. Here I have a ceramic knife. I did a review on this. It is very sharp, and I just threw it in here because weighs nothing, doesn't even weigh, hardly weighs anything. But the thing about it is, it can be used for skinning game, cutting cordage, things like that. Little task, but just an extra something to cut with. And dump this pouch. So here's another bag. Okay, let me put all my cordage together. This one here. Here I have, this is 3/32 tactical cord, 100 feet, 4-strand. So it costs $5. That's 275 pound breaking strength. Do a lot of stuff with this, trapping, your shelter, weave it together and make cords to carry stuff, things like that. Very strong, 275 pounds. I doubt that, you know, you'd be able to break that in a normal use. Here, these are 25 yards each. I did a review on all this. By the way, this knife and these spools of thread are from Gear Ward. If you haven't seen my video, check that out, because this is a really key item here, especially in a 5-pound kit. You can look here, that's 25 yards of Kevlar line. You could fish with this, you could build shelters with this, traps, all kind of stuff. 50 yards right there. 50 yards, look at that. It's Kevlar, so meaning it's super tough. It's going to be hard to break. I don't know the breaking strength on it, but I'm sure it can last for a lot of things. As well as, I cannot pronounce the name of this stuff. I can't even remember the name of it. It's sort of like bank line. Again, 2 spools, 25 yards, 50 yards total. So right here is 100 yards of tactical cord, 275 breaking strength, and here is another 100 yards of a finer cord. Again, you could do small things, build traps, spring traps, fish with it, things like that. So, you know, those key items here at the Cordage. As well, I have some jute twine, not only for tying things and whatnot, but for fire starting. Again, fire is king. And, you know, you could take about, 4 or 5 inches of this, spread it apart, throw it in maybe a damp bird's nest. This is going to catch, and then hopefully get everything else going and get your fire raging. Added to this, I have a small vial or jar, whatever you want to call it, little jar of Vicks Salve. As you were, not Vicks Salve, Vaseline. I can also take this Vaseline, dip it, put it all over this jute twine, and it'll help ignite that as well. But mainly for this is more medical wise, where, comfort. If it got a sore or something, I can put it on it. I can also do it on my lips, things like that. Very light, and actually quite a bit in there. Nice gob of Vaseline. So there's that. Here I have 3 mini Inferno wafers, if you will. They're in a small bag as well. And if I'm in a pinch, break these open, grab the Bic, light it up. It's going to go up. I've used these several times. They work really well. And so I got my fire. Again, another fire source there. 1 wet fire cube. I don't need to talk about that. And here I have a small fishing kit. I have 15 yards, I believe it is, of number 12-pound test. I got 3 fish hooks, 3 sinkers, and then there's some other fishing line in there. Again, I can use a fishing line for many things besides fishing, but you have that element, and then compile with this cordage. I can do trout lines and other things like that. I only got 3 hooks. I probably could have thrown a couple more hooks in there, but it is what it is. That's what I got. Alright guys, this is top of the line training. This is my 5-pound survival kit. My take on it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up. Leave me some comments. Tell me what you think about my kit. What I should maybe add or take away. There were some controversial items here. Not controversial, but a couple of these things, like I could have went with the smaller bivvy and like maybe a plastic sheet tarp type thing, which would be cut that whole weight in half. But I just went with that for the, I'm going to say maybe a 7-day, lost adventure, if you will. And this is what you got to survive with. Negatives on this would be, I wish I could have thrown, and I should have thrown some kind of bars in here, some kind of food element, as well as coffee, tea, a couple coffees, couple teas, and a bar, something like to eat and drink and help the spirits up, and things like that. But this is what I got. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, leave me comments, give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe to the channel. Until the next one, this is Ed, Top of the Line Training. God bless, take care. We'll see you then.